as we gather, play, and grow.
Please rise, if you are able, for the entrance of the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba, Her Honor, the Honorable Anita Neville, and remain standing for the playing of the Vice-Regal Salute. You may be seated.
It was cozy. We made so many memories.
That's where I scored my first goal.
Some of the best memories that ever occurred in my life happened in that old barn, that arena.
For 30 years, the City of Steinbach had been buying properties in the heart of the downtown area, surrounding the old Centennial Arena. We knew the day would come when our beloved arena would no longer be able to serve our growing community. But what exactly would be built remained an important question.
It's a very complex issue. We do have limitations.
But we also know that when the city sets its mind to accomplish something, we build quality for our citizens.
Our community grew and prospered. Meanwhile, our beloved arena limped into another hockey season, and the discussion around the events center continued.
There's so much possibility.
During the playoffs last year, our fans were turned away because the building was full.
The Southeast is growing. We need a space to grow with it.
In the fall of 2018, our community heard a new voice.
We are excited to share news with you today. Highlife wants to partner with the community to make this vision real and affordable. We're excited today to announce our donation of $5 million towards this community multiplex.
The Centennial Arena had meant so much to all of us. But finally, in 2023, it was time to say goodbye. Soon, we saw a new plan. Momentum was growing, with all levels of government and private organizations pulling together.
This is happening because of the broad community support.
We want this facility to unite our community under one roof for 365 days a year.
Now the work's really going to start.
This Southeast Event Center will inspire our young athletes. It will be instrumental in raising our athletes into members of communities who volunteer and give back, like so many have already done.
In March 2025, the Southeast Event Center opened its doors. Built by the community for the community. Today, the Southeast Event Center is ready for us all to fill it with new memories as we gather, play, and grow.
Welcome to the grand opening of the Southeast Event Center. What a historic day for Steinbach. My name is Susan Penner, and I have the privilege of serving as a city councilor here in Steinbach, and I'm honored to be your MC for today's celebration. The City of Steinbach would like to acknowledge that we are gathered today on Treaty 1 territory, the shared traditional and ancestral homelands of the Anishinaabe, Dene, Cree, Ojibwe, and Dakota peoples, and on the national homeland of the Red River Métis. I would now like to welcome Jillian Reeder to the stage to sing our national anthem. Please rise for O Canada.
Oh, Canada,
may be seated. To begin, I would like to recognize the dignitaries in attendance. Her Honor, the Honorable Anita Neville, the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba, Member of Parliament for Provencher, Ted Falk, MLA for Assiniboia and Minister of Sport, Culture, Heritage and Tourism, Nellie Kennedy, MLA for Steinbach, Calvin Gertzen, Mayor of Steinbach, Earl Funk, Steinbach City Councilors Jake Siemens, Bill Hebert, Jake Hebert, Damian Penner, and Michael Swagstra, Mayor of Beausejour, Ray Sherrill, Mayor of Brandon, Jeff Fawcett, Mayor of Niverville, Myron Dick, Mayor of Richot, Chris Ewan, Mayor of Taché, Armand Poirier, Mayor of Winkler, Henry Siemens, Reeve of Brokenhead, Brad Saluk, Reeve of Hanover, Jim Funk, Reeve of Labroquerie, Ivan Normando, Reeve of Lac de Bonnet, Lauren Schinkel, Reeve of St. Anne, Richard Pelletier, plus additional municipal and city councilors. We are so honored that you have all joined us here today. This Southeast Event Center has been a long time coming, but it is worth the wait. In addition to the names you just heard, in the audience today are former Steinbach mayors and city councilors who had the foresight decades ago to begin purchasing properties in the downtown with a vision for one day creating a major community project. We also have business leaders who step forward with both time and financial support, becoming the catalyst to help get this project off the ground, particularly Don Jansen, Grant Lazarick, Claude Villefort, and Denny Villefort. Government representatives whose advocacy helps secure vital funding, dedicated City of Steinbach staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes, especially City Manager Troy Workington. Our current Mayor and Council who ultimately approved the project. Most importantly, we have members of our community here whose enthusiasm and support made moving ahead with this facility a unanimous decision of Council. This event center is truly a testament to what community can achieve when we all work together. As you already heard, we have many distinguished guests with us today to help mark this historic occasion. Throughout the program, you will hear remarks from several of them, beginning with Her Honor Anita Neville, Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba. I now call upon Her Honor to bring greetings.
Good morning. Thank you, Councillor Penner. Distinguished guests all, fellow Manitobans, friends of a wonderful community gathering place, it truly is a pleasure to join you for today's celebration. As we celebrate in addition to the cultural life of Manitoba, I too acknowledge that we're gathered on Treaty 1 land and on the homeland of the Red River Métis. The province we share is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Dakota, and the Dene nations, and the homeland of the Red River Métis, and on northern lands that were and are the ancestral lands of the Inuit. As Manitobans, we're committed to human rights, to dignity for all people, and to working in partnership with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. I also want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the thousands of Manitobans who have been forced from their homes by wildfires this summer. We are grateful for the everyday heroes who continue to fight hard to protect communities throughout the province and provide support to those in need. For decades, Steinbach has played an outsized role in the economic development of Manitoba. With a diversified economy that creates employment in the agricultural, the manufacturing, the pharmaceutical and the financial sectors, and more, Steinbach's steady growth has fueled prosperity in southeastern Manitoba and well beyond. At the same time, Steinbach has worked to maintain a strong sense of community and a lifestyle that offers opportunities for the whole family. With the development of this beautiful Southeast Event Center, Steinbach has another great amenity that will further enrich life in this corner of the province. I wondered to my staff earlier whether it will in fact bring shows that would normally be in Winnipeg out here to Steinbach, which would be fun. This facility will bring the people of Steinbach and surrounding regions together for all kinds of sports, all kinds of concerts, festivals, performances, and gatherings of many kinds. It will attract exciting touring shows and inspire local performers to imagine their names in lights. A facility like this, as we've heard, takes years of fundraising and planning before the first shovels go in the ground. It takes visionaries who can look at an empty space and imagine a large, multi-purpose event center filled with smiling, cheering people. And it takes people with the passion and commitment to make those visions come to life. I'd like to thank all those whose generosity and whose work made this addition to our province's cultural and sports infrastructure possible. And to all who will enjoy this center, congratulations on this milestone in Steinbach's history. It's truly a pleasure to be here with you to participate in this celebration. Thank you for including me. Merci beaucoup, miigwech, and shalom to all. Thank you again.
Hi everybody. Welcome to the grand opening. August 21st, we finally made it, you guys. This Southeast Event Center, built for the community, by the community, and we just wanted to show off another little piece of it. Make sure you check out the walking track after the ceremony is over, and I happen to be standing here with an incredible team of sponsors that is making this part of our building possible. I couldn't be more thankful. This is a testament to exactly what community is and exactly what we hope this building will be for all of us here in the Southeast. It is a long time coming, and I know you can hardly wait to get back up here on the track and do your walking all year long. Rain, cold, heat, whatever. It's going to be beautiful inside with all of your family and friends. So together with this incredible group of sponsors, we want to say, the walking track is open!
What this track means for our community is now there's no excuse not to go walking when it's minus 30 outside. So you'll be able to check that space out later this afternoon. It's upstairs in that direction. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce our Member of Parliament for Provencher, Ted Falk. Mr. Falk has served faithfully as our MP for over a decade. Throughout his time in Parliament, he has been a strong voice for the people of southeastern Manitoba, advocating for families, farmers, small businesses, and the values that shape our communities. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ted Falk, Member of Parliament for Provencher.
Just adjust this so it doesn't fall and I can speak into it. Good morning. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to be here with you today. And what an exciting day. We're celebrating a $75 million project. This is exciting. My wife Irene has joined me here today, and I want to acknowledge all my fellow elected officials, and what a wonderful job of singing O Canada. Thank you very much. You know, as I was reflecting on what I was going to say this morning, I thought, where I want to end up is on community, because this is really a community project. We live in a country where we enjoy many things that we take for granted, like the freedom, peace, and abundance. But here in the southeast of Manitoba, in my riding of Provencher, the federal riding, we seem to have a particularly generous blessing in this area. We've got businesses that thrive. We've got communities where people get involved, contribute, and give back. That doesn't happen everywhere, but it happens here in Provencher. And so I did a little bit of looking back at the original arena that was built in 1966, finished in 1967. It was completed for $180,000, including artificial ice. Today we're looking at $75 million. The uniqueness of what happened back then compared to now is that it happened because individuals in the community, not just government, but individuals in the community. Back then it was T.G. Smith, and we honor him with the arena next door here, part of this facility. But we had the Southeast Events Group, which was formed, which put in countless hours to bring this vision to fruition. And I want to honor them, and in particular, I want to honor the $25.5 million of community money that helped see this project come to fruition. Without that, it wouldn't have happened. A third of the project has been paid for businesses, families, and individuals here in the Southeast. And much of that $25.5 million has come through the generosity of the former shareholders of High Life. And I want to pay special tribute to them today, to Don Jansen, to Claude Villefort, to Danny Villefort, and to Grant Lazarick. They're really the seed money that got everything going here. And then they took their expertise, they took their enthusiasm, they took their work ethic, and they went out there and contacted members of the community, and together bundled up that $25.5 million to make this project a reality. Thank you, High Life. I wonder what kind of events we'll have in this facility sometime. In the old barn, as it was called, the Centennial Arena, we had wrestling matches, we had concerts, we had agribition exhibits, and we had gospel crusades, and we had hockey. And at first everybody thought we're building a hockey arena, but we're building an event center. And I'm excited to see exactly what kind of events are going to come here. And I know the mission and the vision that the Southeast Group has on their website and has been their guiding principles is that this would be a place where the community can gather, can play, and can grow. And my hope, my desire is that those objectives, the mission, the vision, will be fulfilled in this facility, and that the events that happen here will be true to our heritage and our values and bring God honor. So thank you very much to the community for participating. Thank you to all levels of government, including the federal government, which gave $9.5 million towards this project, and to the city for approving it and for funding it as well. So and to Mr. Gertzen for the work that he did in securing provincial funding. Thank you very much. I'd like to call Mr. Lazarick to the stage and just present him with a plaque commemorating this occasion.
Hi everyone, here we are again in another part of this incredible, beautiful facility. We are in the SCU Gymnasium and Hall, and we couldn't be more excited to introduce you to it officially today. Make sure you check it out. There's going to be volleyball, basketball, pickleball for years to come right here in this gymnasium for all ages. Memories will be made, friendships will be formed. Yes, there will be some wins and some losses, but it's all part of an incredible community and making life happen as southeastern Manitoba. And now we have a place to do it. We have this gymnasium and hall thanks to this incredible team of sponsors from the Steinbach Credit Union. We couldn't be more thankful to them. That's why I wanted them all to be with me when we say the SCU Gymnasium and Hall is now officially open!
Today is the first time I saw that gym set up for a banquet, and I immediately noticed it does not look very gym-like. This is because thanks to the SCU's generous sponsorship of that space, there's not sponsorship signs in that room, so when you set it up for a banquet, it actually looks really impressive, and I'm sure that will be well used for a gym and also for banquets and weddings and such. Now it is my privilege to introduce the Honourable Nellie Kennedy, MLA for Assiniboia and Manitoba's Minister of Sport, Culture, Heritage and Tourism, which invests in amateur sports and promotes cultural and heritage development and supports local tourism across our province. In her role, she champions sustainable tourism, supports Indigenous tourism initiatives, and oversees programs aimed at enhancing community well-being through sport and culture. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the Honourable Nellie Kennedy.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure and honor to be here today. It is such an exciting day. I had the pleasure of touring this whole facility last week, and I was just blown away by what has been accomplished here in this community. So again, thank you so much for having me here. It's the heart of southeast Manitoba, Steinbach, and so we're here obviously to celebrate this grand opening of the Southeast Event Center. I want to start off by acknowledging the dignitaries joining us here today. I'm really just so proud to be with all of you here today. And of course, there's a very special guest in our audience, Ralph Kruger, who's the Olympic gold medalist and proud Steinbach native. Ralph, your presence here today is a powerful symbol of how far this community has come. This event center is more than just bricks and mortar. It is the realization of a decades-long dream. It represents the spirit of collaboration, perseverance, and pride that defines Steinbach and the Southeast region. From the first conversations to the final touches, this project has been shaped by the people who live here. It's a place that's built for community, by community. And in my role, I see firsthand how spaces like this enrich our province. They bring people together to celebrate the arts, sports, heritage, and local talent. They also drive tourism, create jobs, and strengthen our economy. This center will host concerts, sporting events, trade shows, and festivals. Each one will be an opportunity to showcase Manitoba's vibrant identity to the world. But honestly, I'm really just most excited about what this means for young people. Whether they're skating the arena, performing on stage, or simply gathering with friends, this is going to be a place where their dreams will be born and nurtured. Let today be a celebration of what we can achieve when we work together. Let this center be a beacon of community pride, creativity, and connection. So I would like to close by saying a huge congratulations to Steinbach. The Southeast Event Center is officially open, and it really is truly spectacular. Thank you so much for having me here today.
I'm so pleased to introduce Calvin Gertzen, MLA for Steinbach. Mr. Gertzen has served our community for more than 2 decades. During his time in office, he has held several key cabinet positions, including Minister of Health, Minister of Education, and Deputy Premier of Manitoba. He also served as Manitoba's 23rd Premier. MLA Gertzen has been a dedicated advocate for Steinbach in southeastern Manitoba, working hard to represent our community's values and priorities in the legislature. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Calvin Gertzen, MLA for Steinbach.
What an exciting morning this is. It is a pleasure to be here with Your Honor, our Mayor, our Member of Parliament, Minister Kennedy, and many dignitaries from across the province of Manitoba. I'm going to tell you a secret. Grant, I don't know if I've ever told you this before. The last couple of years in the old arena, going to Pistons games wasn't as exciting for me as it once was. Not because the Pistons weren't great. Paul and the team put together a great on-ice product. But probably 5 times every game, somebody would come up to me and say, "We need a new arena." I remember one time I was sitting in that foyer area where the old McDonald's seating was, I think, and I was watching the game, and somebody, a friend of mine actually, put their arm around me and they said, "Kelvin, why can't Steinbach have nice things?" Well, we've got nice things now. We've got a beautiful facility. But it speaks to the pent-up desire for this facility for many, many years. For a very long time, people were talking about this and dreaming about this, and they didn't always know what it would look like, but they knew that Steinbach needed a new facility. So in 2021, when our government announced funding for an arena in Niverville, I went to the Premier's office, Mr. Pallister, and I said, "Brian, if there's not funding for Steinbach, I'm going to have to move to Niverville." And I like Niverville. Mayor Myron Dick is here, but I don't want to move to Niverville. So eventually, provincial funding, federal funding came forward for this project. Municipal funding came forward, and a whole lot of private funding came forward. And this facility, as your MP mentioned, doesn't happen without that support. And a lot of communities couldn't replicate what happened here to get this facility going. And Steinbach should be very proud, and the region should be very proud because of that effort that was put in by the community. I want to acknowledge one other thing, because there are former mayors here and there are former MLAs here and many other business people who have spoken about and had a vision for a project like this for many years. And this is the project that came to fruition, this event center. But there were other visions and there were other things that were proposed. And some might say, well, those didn't come to fruition, but each one of those projects, each time an elected official had a vision for this community, it kept the discussion going. It brought us to the point that we are here today. So I want you to acknowledge those former MLAs, those former mayors, those former business people who had a vision, who got us here today. Give them a round of applause. And let me conclude with this. Today, Steinbach has a nice thing. We have a nice event center. But there are other things that this community needs as well. There are other nice things that our community needs to have for gathering places and other types of facilities. So when you walk through here today and you're looking around, don't think of this as the culmination of something, the completion of something. This is just another part of the journey of Steinbach. And I would challenge those who are in the room, those who are younger than me and maybe younger than Ted, younger than others, think about the vision of the future and start thinking about the other projects that you want for this community, for young people, for another generation. You've seen the example that High Life Grant and others, Don, put forward, and the example of how to build great things in this community. But let's not stop here. Let's celebrate today, and then let's start thinking about the next great project that the next future leaders of Steinbach are going to open. Thank you very much. What a wonderful day. Let's celebrate.
Hey everyone, we're just hanging out here in the Game On Play Zone, sponsored by the incredible Niverville Credit Union. You got to check out their Steinbach branch. I'm here with the incredible team from NCU. We've just been having fun on this thing, and now it's going to be your turn.
Thrilled for that play zone, which is essentially an indoor play structure to open to the public in coming weeks. This is something I sure would have loved when my kids were little, and I'm just so happy young families in our community will be able to enjoy that space. It is down the hall that way if you want to check it out a little bit later. It is now my sincere privilege to introduce the president of the Southeast Event Center, Mr. Grant Lazarick. There are few people who have given more to this community than Mr. Lazarick. Formerly as president and CEO of High Life, and more recently as the president of this facility. I don't know that this project would have happened without him. The sheer amount of time he has put into making this facility a reality is incalculable and deeply appreciated. Please welcome Mr. Grant Lazarick to the stage.
The mic is the right height here, Ralph. We'll adjust it for you later. Wow. Thank you, Susan. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Her Honor. We're thrilled to have you here today. On behalf of the Southeast Events Group and our Board of Directors, it gives me great pleasure to be able to share a few words with you on this long-awaited grand opening. What a moment this is for our city, our region, and our community. Today, we officially open the doors to the Southeast Event Center, a place built not just with bricks and beams, but with vision, heart, and a whole lot of collaboration. Back in 2017, we asked a simple question: what if? What if High Life stepped forward and invested into something that could bring people together, not just for hockey, but for music, for movement, and for connection? What if we could raise additional funds from private partners and passionate community members? What if we could really support? What if we could rally support from all levels of government? It happened, and here we are. This facility is more than ice and seats. It's a place to walk when the snow piles up. It's a place to sip some coffee, read a book, cheer on a team, dine with your friends, watch your children play, or sing a song along to a concert. It's a place where athletes and artists intersect, where social activities thrive, and where long winters feel a little shorter because we're together. A place that brings us together 365 days a year. As you look around today, please notice the names of the people and businesses that have given to make this place possible. You see, people donate because they believe in something and they want it to belong, and they want to belong. And if I can tell you, every person who contributed to this project belongs here. You're part of this story, you're part of this legacy. From a humble beginning, Don, Denis, Claude, and I had the privilege of growing High Life into a global leader in pork production. But we've never forgotten where we came from or who helped us get here. Our success is rooted in the hard work of our team and the strength of our community. So today, we give back. The Southeast Event Center is a way of saying thank you. It's a symbol of pride, of partnership, and of possibility. And yes, it's proudly fueled by pork. A nod to the people and the passion that made this dream real. Welcome to your new gathering place. Welcome to a space that belongs to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lazarick. The donor wall, there's a beautiful donor wall that's going to be unveiled early this afternoon. So if you do want to take a look of who the donors are, you'll be able to do that after lunch sometime. Our next guest literally grew up in a home on this very site. Mr. Welf Kruger is a highly respected figure in international sport and leadership. He has left a lasting legacy in coaching and management roles across the globe. 7 years in Austria as a head coach and general manager, 13 years as national team coach of Switzerland, 5 seasons in the NHL with the Edmonton Oilers and Buffalo Sabres, an advisory role for Hockey Canada at the 2014 Winter Olympics, and head coach of Team Europe at the 2016 World Cup of Hockey. In 2013, he made a bold and highly successful transition from ice hockey to football, otherwise known as soccer in these parts, becoming chairman of Southampton FC in the English Premier League. He is also recognized for his thought leadership and contribution as a member of the World Economic Forum's Global Agenda Council on New Models of Leadership. And he's from Steinbach. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ralph Kruger.
In 1959, my parents, Dr. Carl and Eva Kruger, fulfilled a big dream when they built their first house on a beautiful, large property of their own. The address, 375 Elmdale Drive. The property is now a big piece of the land upon which this magnificent multi-purpose event center has been built. My parents came to Canada in 1952 looking for the right place, the proper fit where they could raise their family of eventually 5 children. They searched for a sense of community based upon strong values. They looked for a town that offered a healthy mix of athletics and culture. They discovered Steinbach in 1955, fell in love with it, and built their family home for life in 1959, right here, the year I was born. The outside rink was 100 meters from our house, and I wandered over regularly, eventually with my skates in tow, from the age of 4. The continuous freezing of my fingers and toes improved after Steinbach's first indoor arena was built in 1967, when I was 8. And look at what we have here now. Wunderbar, so schön. I did not know it at the time, but on those ice surfaces, I had discovered my professional vehicle for life, sports, and especially ice hockey. We sold the house to the city after my dad passed away in 2009. 50 years after it was built. The city manager at the time, Jack Kaler, and I had been speaking for a few years about a possible sale. He placed the vision of a new arena and event center on the table. That was over 18 years ago. My siblings and I bought into that ambitious vision, and when we were ready to sell, it went directly to the city. The property never hit the open market. Bravo to the City of Steinbach for getting this done. Bravo to everyone who supported and helped to execute the process. Psychologists say that the foundation of our value system is mostly set in the first 7 or 8 years of life. My hard drive was built in Steinbach. As an athlete, as a leader, and as a person. In closing, I would like to share with you 5 major principles that have guided me through my many adventures around the world. Principles born right here in Steinbach. No matter my role in life, these principles were a constant. Always initiate positive, solution-oriented processes with your actions. Move forward. Be a team player, putting the team first and parking your ego when you are executing in a group, both at work and at play. Reach beyond your grasp in life. Define destinations, goals, visions, and dreams like this event center in your life, which are challenging to achieve but attainable. This triggers motivation. Stick to your values. Above all, treat people with respect and have discipline in the process. Understand that you need to pay a price, need to sacrifice to win in life. And finally, live primarily in the moment. Be present. This breath, this step, this brick that you are laying, this very moment is your life. Live it. Thank you, and enjoy this special day. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Just hanging out here in the Steinbach Sports Heritage Gallery, another incredible part of the Southeast Event Center that you can check out after the ceremony is over today. Make sure you spend some time, read the write-ups, learn about some of the greatest athletes, teams, and builders that have come out of our City of Steinbach. We are so excited to celebrate that with you. And why with this incredible group? Well, they're our Steinbach Sports Heritage Committee. They have spent hours poring over the stories and the history of where we have come from. Fitting, since in this new building we're heading into a new era, it's always important to never forget where we have come from. So guys, I think it's time. On this grand opening day, we now declare the Steinbach Sports Heritage Gallery officially open!
It was completed, and I had a chance to go look at the gallery yesterday, and it is so well done. I want to give a shout out to the Heritage Committee that curated it, because they did an incredible job. It's John Sawatsky, Bill Dick, Russ Dick, Terry Fry, and Michelle Sawatsky. They just did such a good job celebrating our athletes, and I encourage you to go take a look. And now, it is my honor to introduce His Worship Mayor of Steinbach, Earl Funk. First elected as mayor in 2018, after serving 2 terms on council, Mayor Funk has been a dedicated advocate for Steinbach's growth and prosperity. Under his guidance, Steinbach continues to thrive as one of the fastest growing cities in Canada. Through his leadership, he was able to bring stakeholders together to move the Southeast Event Center forward, championing this project, knowing it will serve Steinbach as a hub for sport, culture, and community life for decades to come. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Earl Funk.
Thank you, Susan. I want to let everyone know today my heart is full. Almost to the point I'm a little overwhelmed when you look at a facility like this and where it came from. In 2010, when we got elected, Susan and I were brand new councillors, and one of the first things we did was talk about an event center. And it was absolutely huge. And to think we talked about this for 15 years. But I just want to start now, and I just want to welcome all the dignitaries, and I'm so thankful that you all came, and thank you for your kind words about our community and about this event center. I want to welcome invited guests. You're here for a reason. We wanted to share this with you. Former mayors and councillors, without you, this couldn't have happened. You laid the foundation for this to go forward, and we are so thankful for you. Even though this was the council that built it, we built it with you. We built it with the policies and the principles you put in place. I want to thank and I want to recognize the AMM Cities Caucus mayors and the deputy mayors and the council members that are here today. The AMM Cities Caucus has become very, very important to me. We are friends that are leading our province, the urban centers in our province, in a collective agreement, and we're trying to do the best we can for our city. And I appreciate every one of you, and I'm so glad that you could be here today and that we could celebrate together. Thank you so much for coming out. And above all, the community guests. Thank you so much, the community, for coming out. It is just incredible that we can get together and we can celebrate an event center like this. This is a very exciting day. This is a historic moment for our community. Every one of you is taking part of history in the making in the city of Steinbach. This is the largest project that the city of Steinbach has ever undertaken. It was just south of $76 million, $33 million through the municipality, $25.5 million from a private donor group. We are so blessed in Steinbach to have these men and women that are so invested in our community, and we're so thankful for you. And $18.5 million through the province. And Calvin, thank you. I came to you many times for top-ups, and I thank you. And by the way, thanks for opening the door, because I think we need to meet next week, because I have a lot of projects to work on. But this project started decades ago with past councils. When I think back to how one of the foundations that we could build this on, I think back to Mayor Helmut Pankratz and his council. He was a mayor in the 80s, and as we know in the 80s, those of you that have been around long enough, the interest rates were climbing almost daily. And so that council, under the influence of Mayor Helmut Pankratz, they had developed a policy, initiated a policy of 5-year debt repayment. Well, that saved the city millions and millions of dollars in interest payments. Plus, it helped the city to become financially stable and prosperous. This is that first step. That's the foundation of us becoming prosperous and financially sound. That policy is still being observed today, because councils that came after realized the benefit in making our term payments, our loan payments, short. Mayor Pankratz and his council, they initiated this policy, and that ultimately helped the city to be in a position to build this wonderful complex. There were councils that bought properties in the downtown. In the early 90s is when it started. The first 2 properties were bought in 1993. They were 336 Hanover and 340 Hanover, and they were bought by Mayor Wes Reimer was mayor of the time, and they were bought to make room for the T.G. Smith Center, and that was talked about. And T.G. Smith was an integral part of sports and growing sports in our community, and that's why he's honored with his name on that center. Okay, and at the time, after this was all done, the council recognized that as the city of Steinbach was growing, we were growing in population, we were growing in size, we were growing in sports. They recognized that we would need land, we would need more space. So councils at the time under Wes Reimer had enacted a policy as well to start buying downtown properties as they became available. And what was neat about this is This was a policy that was adopted by successive councils. Mayor Les Magnuson and his councils bought properties. Thank you, Mayor Magnuson, for continuing that. Mayor Chris Gertzen, we bought many properties while you were mayor. I remember many times sitting in your office, and I have fond memories of talking about downtown. See, me and Mayor Chris Gertzen, we are actually downtown people. We're downtown boys. Our businesses are downtown. We both lived in the downtown, and so the downtown was always special to us. And that's why we often talked about the event center needing to be downtown. And look what happened. It was incredible. It's incredible what we've been able to build downtown. We looked over those times, and Mayor Chris Gertzen will tell you, we looked at many different plans. There were many, many votes. We didn't always agree. But you know what? We learned a lot. We learned a lot about our community. We learned a lot about what we actually needed. And we learned, mostly important, we learned what we could afford. And Chris, I always appreciate your openness and your willingness for the downtown location, your vision. And again, I'll just mention our talks. We had many talks. I think it was always Monday at 4:30 for coffee. Yeah, and those were special times. And I still appreciate all the communicating we do today. Thank you. After the 2018 election, this building started with a call from Grant Lazarick. So he said, we need to sit down, we need to talk, and we need to discuss. And so I picked a team of councillors. It was my deputy, Michael Swagstra, and Councillor Bill Hebert. And that was when we met 4 men that we would make a deal with, and basically, this deal is basically unheard of in our country. But those 4 men were Grant Lazarick, Don Jansen, Claude Villefer, and Dennis Villefer. And as we started discussing and meeting, we saw their passion, we saw their vision, we saw their love and their desire to give back to their community, and we're so thankful for them. And we just want to honor them today. Thank you so much for what you've done in our community. It was a long process. Thank you for your patience. It's not easy dealing with government, and you realize that once we started dealing. But we knew we had a deal that we needed to work on and that we couldn't refuse, so we continued to negotiate. Negotiations continued throughout the build, and we didn't always agree, but we always did come together because the community was always our focus, and that's why we came together. I want to thank Councillor, the Council of the Day, because Council, you supported this. Every time we came back we would go and negotiate, we'd come back, and Council, you would support what we had decided and done with. And I want to thank all of Council for that. I want to thank all the other donors as well, because there are many of you, and none of this wouldn't be happening without you. And thank you for believing in this project. Thank you. I want to thank you to our federal and provincial partners, MP Ted Falk. Thank you for supporting the project. Thank you for your help in getting the money from the federal government. Calvin, again, I want to thank you again. I know I thanked you before, but yes, those conversations we had, whether they were, in candid or really important conversations to me, and I thank you for the advice you gave us, and the top up money as well. Thank you. That's always good. Yeah. There's someone I want to recognize today that's not here, and that is the late MP Jim Carr. I never actually met him in person because I met him during COVID, and so we only had phone meetings. But the relationship that we started building with Minister Carr, I think, also helped start the ball rolling on getting the funding in this for this facility. And I want to tell you a story because one morning or one day his aide called me, and he told me that he will be calling you tomorrow morning at 9:30, and he's got these certain questions for me so that I was prepared. And the questions he had for me is he was tasked with the task of finding out what communities were doing with their gas tax money. And so then I went and got some stuff ready for him. He called me, and then we were talking. And I told him what we do, and we use it for pavement overlay so that our services last longer, right? We seal up the cracks and we put new pavement on, and then our infrastructure underneath lasts a lot longer. And he thought that was genius. And the next day, his aide called me and asked if we would form a meter release for him that he could take to Ottawa and share with his caucus. And so we did. And he said, his aide said to me, he said, I don't know what you did, but he said that first thing in the morning, that call he made to you, he said was the best call he had all day long. He said it was all downhill from there. So I don't know, and I wasn't really pumping his tires too much, but I was just trying to get the money from him, right? I would like to thank the SEG group. You guys, you've been a pleasure to work with. Thank you so much. It's been there too. We haven't always agreed, but again, our focus was the community, and we always landed in the right spot. I want to thank our staff. Man, the City of Steinbach, I've just realized over the years, we just have incredible staff. Whenever I would come through, because this is on the way home for me, so I would come from the shop or City Hall, and I would pop in as they were setting up. It was getting more and more done. They were getting ready to put ice in, and I would see our staff, and I would talk to them, and they would just tell me of the hours they spent, and some were on hour number 32. It was just incredible, the amount of dedication from our staff. We've got a wonderful team at the city, and we need to show them appreciation. They're just incredible. Paul Penner, I want to single you out a little bit. You have been amazing during this build. And just keeping everyone on task. It has not been easy for you. And then you had some health issues on the side during it, and you came back to work and you kept going and you kept hitting hard and you kept focused to get this building built. And we just thank you for that. And you're another key part of this building. Let's clap for Paul. Troy Workentine, our city manager. He worked very closely with Graham, the SEG group, and then he had to listen to everything council told him, right? And we were pretty demanding at times. And Troy took it all in stride, and he put it all together, and he went to these meetings and he got it all built. For example, the play structure, that's there because of Susan. And that happened in a meeting, and it was a long meeting. It was in the evening, and Troy went forward and got it built on and worked on. So let's just thank Troy. And even though, there were so many times I'd go into Troy's office and have some questions, and he'd have plans on his desk and binders open and notes. And I'd say, Troy, you got a minute? And he'd always say yes. That's the kind of man we have that's running our city. Thank you, Troy. And in closing, City of Steinbach, this is for you, the residents. Thank you for the patience during this build of this facility. We took away your parking on Reimer. The parking lot here was mud. We took away your arena. but we built you an event center. We built it for you. We built it for you to enjoy. It is yours to gather, to play, to dine, to exercise, and to experience and build our wonderful community. Use it well. Thank you, and God bless.
I would now like to invite all the speakers back on stage for the ribbon cutting. The Southeast Event Center is officially open.
As we gather, play, and grow.